Hey Melina, nice job here. I really like your graphics. So yeah, just not many suggestions. But the biggest suggestion I have is has to do with color. Um, it's always hard to see red just on top of certain other colors, especially green. Since it's a complementary color combination, it vibrates. You can kind of see how this, if you look at it for a while, it's going to start to hurt your eyes, and it's really hard on the eyes of disabled. So I would make this darker. And what I would also suggest is maybe trying to simplify some of these black lines, maybe make them lighter because they're just creating so much contrast that it's taking away from your really cool objects. So that would be the main suggestions. And other suggestions would be to make what you want to come forward, make it bigger. So if you want this to be bigger, if you want this to be in front, make it a little bit bigger. There's some good examples with, oh shoot, where's my, just a second. So if you look at some of these posters that I posted in the announcements, see how, this is kind of big in relation to the other buildings. And when you start to get way back, this is a lot smaller, right? This is big because it is big, but it's just kind of, and it doesn't have to be to scale, but just think of ways to, make it look layered and add, create depth. Same here. You can see how some buildings are big, and then, same here. So as things go further away, they just get smaller. So that would be the main suggestion because everything looks really crowded right here. It looks kind of crunched in, and then you've got the negative space up here, which is good because then you can add the add the city name. But this is also very strong, so you might just think in terms of colors. Like, see, you kind of have this palette that's kind of light, these greens, but then you've got this really high contrast black, and then you've got the red. So there's a lot of, it's very complicated, so there's a lot going on for the eye to handle. You want to create a little bit of breathing room. I would definitely make this smaller so these aren't so close together. You could make them close together, again, back to these posters. See how these are all close together, but they're they're very similar colors, so they kind of appear as one form instead of a lot of different things that are that are just hard on the eyes. And again, see how simple the color is. When you look at all of these, there's not much color. There's two blues, two kind of orangey colors, and a couple little blues up here. So if you simplify, same here, all these buildings just have 2 to 3 tones, and they're all pretty much similar. There's like the darker kind of orangey color and the lighter one. Same here. Not much, a whole bunch of color, and that's why these are so successful, is because of the color. You may want to go with some kind of sky like this too. And again, skies usually are lighter at the bottom, so if you did a gradient, could also look realistic, and then it could also make a really nice dark background for the city name. The color in the back is a little bit weird. I like it, but I think as for a city, you'd probably want something a little clearer and just a little sharper. It just kind of, it even could, it just, the sky doesn't look very bright. It looks a little dingy, which kind of makes it look more kind of like, a city that doesn't have super clean air or something like that. And I'm just thinking in terms of what the client wants. And I love the Ferris wheel. I would just do, or the whatever it is, just do something with it. Maybe add a stroke, or maybe just make it a dark color. So if you really simplified these colors up here of these buildings, I think it would really come together. And if you want to add some green stuff, make it kind of bigger. I'm not saying to copy these posters here, but you really can look at them for, and again, look at the repetition here of these the different tree shapes and smaller in the background. But you can get ideas from these because they're, that's how we learn, when we're starting. And and again, back, some of the student posters, some of them aren't really that great. I would have liked to see a gradient, light to dark, because going this way doesn't make sense. But again, people, don't. But where's that one poster that's pretty successful? The Chicago one. Notice the simple color. Not many colors, right? And that's why it's very consistent, and it looks very unified. Okay, so overall, really nice job, though. Your graphics look great. You've really come a long way in Illustrator. Okay.